All right, you guys, we're back in for game number 2 of Big Vibrating Chungus versus Team Needlessly Large Rods. The first game, absolutely incredible for the side of Needlessly Large Rods because they came back from an absolutely incredible deficit to pull off the biggest upset of the tournament so far, and quite possibly the upset of the tournament going forward, because I don't know if we're going to see anything quite like that again. But if we do, I'm all for it because that was so entertaining. And we also have Aiden back now. So, Aiden, welcome back. Take it away.
I'm gonna need to after that game. Your voice is a bit sore there. 40 minutes.
40-minute not too bad.
There. Wow, what a from start to finish. I was actually watching the whole time. Unfortunately, I had to be doing other things as well, so I couldn't be casting. But had it on my second screen there. And I'm just gonna say it was hard to do that other thing because it was it was a close game. That was like you said, this might have been one of the closest, most competitive, craziest games we've had so far. And one thing I do like from it is I like to see teams kind of taking the strategies of other teams that they've seen in this tournament. So that blitz pickup, we saw it actually in the on Friday games. And we're seeing it again now. So it's kind of cool to see, how teams evolve and how they're kind of changing in respect to the other teams in the tournaments. They might notice a certain pick worked, and they might go, you know what, we're gonna try that ourselves. So fantastic job on trying for both teams really. I don't think any team is to blame at all. Both teams played incredible. If it's a 45-minute game, both teams are having to play very good because if either team wasn't, it would be a stomp, and obviously that was none of that. That was just fantastic.
Yeah, and one thing going down in this game again, the Alistar again. So it's likely going to be Coltimus playing another game of Alistar. Alistar was able to slip through, and Big Vibrating Chungus was very worried about that Victor, very worried about that Tristana. Because of that late game scaling, like I was talking about in the last game, Victor started at 1-5. 1-5. But if you can continue to farm up on Victor, continue to get your gold, your EXP, and get your upgrades on your abilities, Victor comes online and become an absolute menace. So that's likely why they took him away, because if this game goes the distance again, they do not want that Victor in play. And similar thing can be said about the Tristana. But at the same time, we look over to the other side, we see the Evelyn band away, likely targeting 2Dude again because of 2Dude's fantastic performance on Evelyn last night. I don't think he's going to be getting that champion again. So, yeah.
One of those things here, you're talking about the late game scaling. How about Senna? With Senna, that's a whole bunch of late game scaling in itself. So it seems like Needlessly Large Rods keeps going back to some of these late game scaling comps. And this is actually a champion that we haven't seen before in all of our previous games. I don't think we've seen a Senna, and at the same time, I don't know if we've seen a Lee Sin. I could be very wrong. But that would be just some of the plays that a lot of players can make on Lee Sin. It'll be absolutely fantastic to see here. Alrighty. So, we might be having some technical difficulties, folks. You'll have to hang on for just a second. We've got good old Schmitty J in the background here figuring things out. But the start of this game might just have to be a bit delayed. No worries. We get things done. We carry on. In the meantime, while Jimmy J figures that out, I'll continue on with the rest of this draft phase here. We've seen the big explosive team fights from Needlessly Large Rod. It looks like they're going back to do that.
That's the heck, of course it is. I mean, I can deal with him fine on me.
Yo,
What's up? Yeah.
I mean, we
Wait.
did the same. I mean, it's up to them. I don't know.
what do you mean? Oh,
Mm.
I mean,
have no clue. I mean,
I don't care.
we can. Okay,
I-
yeah, sure.
I'm like, we had to pick Lux like 2 seconds, or like last 1 second because I didn't hear him. Like, we did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We didn't ask to swap or anything.
Okay.
Alright.
Just to keep your guys' schedule moving. Yeah. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Repeat of the last game. Different champions, newer champions, right? The draft is changing it up, but we have just about the same comps. We've got a big team fight comp versus this catch and pick comp. Big Vibrating Chungus rounding out that pick with the Galio. So we are going to see some good front line from that, but we're still looking at pick comps. We're still looking at a explosive team fight comps. So I think what Big Vibrating Chungus has to do in this game is they have to try to end out these games early. Last game, it kind of dragged on. We got to that 40-minute mark, and that's when Team Needlessly Large Rods were able to start to use some of their explosive damage. If we have Team Big Vibrating Chungus trying to make a bit more aggressive plays and trying to push for that end a bit sooner, that's where they're going to make most of their potential. That's where they're going to really utilize their team comp here. On the flip side, Needlessly Large Rod, if they can repeat the same thing from last game, that's exactly, and they play that comp exactly the same. Get to that late game scaling, get that sent on, and just get all the souls they can. That's how they're going to win this game. Back to back, game number 2 starting soon. We got the spectator delay. We just have to wait out, but we're in for another good one. Stay tuned.
Sorry about that, guys. We are back. We had the technical difficulties figured out, but I was waiting until Aiden finished talking, so it wasn't interrupting any of his, his hot takes, his interesting thoughts, and his,
I have no interesting thoughts.
Of course you do. He also had his efficient analysis of the game so far. I'm also like when he's talking about when we're seeing the late game scaling comp. So we do have that Senna right now. Senna being a huge late game scaling champion. So I am liking that pickup for the side of Team Needlessly Large Rods. Not quite as good with the Alistar as it would be with the Tahm Kench. However, Alistar is still an absolutely fantastic pick. And on the flip side, the Lux. So I know Lux can put out a lot of damage, but again, I'm not a huge fan of that Lux pick. I'm not sure if you guys remember from what I've talked about before, but I am not a huge fan of that Lux pick myself. So if I Love Life can make it work, he's going to make me really eat my words. And also, that's been happening a lot this weekend so far. So I can't really say too much. But that's what we're going to be going with for right now, I'm going to be sticking to that, but at the same time, speaking of champions that I don't like, I'm also going to speak about champions that I do like. Safthany on this vein. I've heard a lot of good things about Safthany on this vein. Alright, so I am really looking forward to what he can do. Galio. I really like the Galio pick. Galio has a lot of global pressure. He has the ability to, support his teammates from pretty much anywhere. And while it's not 100% global, it is a semi-global ability, and his ult is so incredibly strong, especially in team fights. So the team fight capability that they were lacking on the Engage in that sense is definitely going to be there this game. So I am liking that Galio pickup. I'm liking the Lee Sin. I'm liking the Vayne. Not a huge fan of the Lux. And based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm not a huge fan of this Ashe in the top lane either. But who knows? Ashe might be like the next Vayne in the top lane. Could be a huge bully, and we just don't know it yet. So it's going to be an interesting one, seeing the Ashe in the top lane. But to be fair, he did have a Shen taken away. The Shen that did him so well in the last game was taken away by Jarrett. So we're not going to see Jarrett on the Garen. We are going to go ahead and see him on the Shen instead of Your Eternity. And like I was talking about last game, I think the ultimate of Shen is just so incredibly strong that no matter what time in the game it is, I think that ult can do some major work. And the Annie going to be picked up for the side of Needless Large Rods, which is a bit of an interesting one. Haven't seen Annie yet this tournament, but I do actually like the Annie pick as well. T-Man Billy on the Annie is looking to do some major work, I'm sure. The one-shots that can come out of Annie are incredible. If you can get that stun down with the bear, you hit the flame, the targeted flame, and then the cone flame. It's a lot of fire, and that fire is just going to keep on burning and burning and take you out if you let it. So I think that this Annie pickup is pretty strong. And the Hecarim that was banned away last game is also being picked up. So I think that's really good for MKP. So this is going to be a really interesting game. I'm looking to see a very solid game coming out from both teams. I know that Safthany has a lot of experience on the Vayne like I talked. Not sure how about I Love Life on the Lux. And Ravedorn on the Galio is not quite the champion that they've been, working in the mid lane, this team yet. But I think that Ravedorn can make it work. We have seen Ravedorn on a little bit more aggressive aggro style champions. However, I am liking this Galio pick for a little bit of a change of pace. What do you think on that Galio pick, Aiden?
Wow, I got back just in time. Yeah, I like the frontline damage. I think that's going to be important. You can't just have the squishies. Lee Sin isn't going to be enough to be tanky, especially if we get into that late game. Which, you know what? Big Vibrating Chungus doesn't necessarily want to do. I think they have a pick comp, so I think they got to go quickly. So Galio should actually help them with that. He's got great roam potential with his ultimate. So I think it was a good pick to kind of round out their comp. Gives them a bit of safety if they do get to that late game.
I 100% agree with that. And like I was saying to the stream, I absolutely love that Galio pick. Galio was one of my favorite champions to play for quite a while. So I am really liking this pickup for Ravedorn. And while it's not really the pick that he's been playing a lot of, like I was saying, he's a little bit more aggressive champions usually. I think he's going to do pretty well. But on the flip side, we are also going to see two dude back on the Lee Sin. We've seen him do some really good things on the Lee Sin. We saw crazy Dragon Steel last week that made it in the highlights, and is one of my favorite highlights from last week as well. It's also been posted on the Instagram, so if you guys don't follow the Draft Seasons on Instagram, go check us out. It's just Draft Seasons on Instagram, and it'll be the same logo as our Twitch channel, so go ahead and check it out. We're going to try to post, relatively often. It may not be every day, but we're going to at least try to post a couple times a week. And generally, we're going to try to post on game days. So if you want to follow us on IG, go ahead and check it out. All right. Aiden, going into this game, what are you looking for in this bottom lane? All right. It's going to be an interesting one with the Vayne Lux versus the Senna Alistar, but who do you think is winning out in that sense?
I'm going to give it to the Senna Alistar. I like the Vayne and I like the Lux. They got a lot of damage there, but it's late game damage. So, that might come in handy later in this game, but to start off right away, Vayne isn't going to be really doing a huge amount of damage, so we're kind of relying on the Lux to do a lot of poke. However, you know how you counter poke is with some hard engage here. So before, no, that's a good point. Poke doesn't hard engage doesn't counter poke, so I'm wrong and I misspoke. Poke is actually really good against hard engage. So Lux can use a lot against this Alistar to poke him down before he tries to go in. But if Coltimus can actually play it right and not take a lot of punishment beforehand, Senna can actually capitalize on a lot of poke on her own, and they have a really solid hard engage here. So Alistar obviously headbutt knockup combo, and that can be followed in with Senna because she actually does have a root of her own. So I think the all-in damage is a lot stronger coming from the side of needlessly large rods here. And I think that just because of that, we're actually going to go ahead and favor them in this bot lane matchup in the early game. In the late game, I'm going to actually say that Team Big Vibrating Chungus is going to go ahead and take that, just because the Lux has so much damage to single targets and she can absolutely eviscerate champions late game. And then the Vayne, obviously, everyone knows how much of a monster she can be.
Really, really good take in my opinion. I fully agree with everything there, except for, that little slip up that you even acknowledged, but you fixed. So I'll take it. I'll take it. So I do agree with pretty much everything you had to say there. And I hate to make you keep talking here, but another thing I want to look at is this top lane. Your Eternity picking out the Ashe top lane with a cleanse going against Jarrett on the Shen. How do you think this lane's going to play out with the Ashe versus Shen?
Well, Ashe is going to actually get caught out here and take a lot of damage, so you can kind of see how it goes. But
at the same time, he's getting a lot of damage back.
I was actually going to say this. I was
But the
going to
Winions.
say the Winions are huge damage. I was going to say I was surprised to see the Ashe top lane. I thought it was going to be an Ashe ADC with a Vayne top lane. That makes a bit more sense. To me. Vayne top lane is a pretty normal pick. Ashe top lane, not as much. Hold that thought, however, as Dude actually connects on that Q onto MKP now. Now he's in a bit of hurt here. The Shen taunting forward. That's going to be first blood.
Wow. Okay.
Going over to team. Needlessly large rods. So fantastic early pickup there for them. Back to my point here. How are you going to want to play this? As a range champion like Ashe, same thing with as poke champions, just anywhere in any lane. A good thing with poke champions is that the trade isn't over when they walk away. A lot of people kind of forget that, and a lot of people think that, Rel engaged on me and we got brought down to half health. I have to run away now. Trade's over. Game's over. It's not. You're the poke champion. You're Ashe. Shen goes in with his taunt. That's it. Taunt is blown. Even if he hits you, he might be taking some damage from minions, or you can try to disengage a bit. Once you disengage, you're not done. If you re-engage, he can't come back in on you because he doesn't have his movement tools anymore. So that's your time to actually punish. So I think that Ashe can actually do very well right now up in this top lane. If you can dodge that Shenny, or you can disengage, Ashe has a lot of tools of slow and disengage. So if that can be used perfectly, the Ashe has a whole bunch of tools to follow up and actually punish Jarrett right now in this top lane.
Like he seems to be doing right now. Because Jarrett always starts out the trade doing really well, but your Eternity with the range and the ability to kite back with that slow and even, push him off and chase him down rather than just kiting away, your Eternity turns it back and evens out the trade. And sometimes it looks like he actually might be on the winning side. And we did see an interesting build last night come out on a Vayne top lane. We saw a tank Vayne last night. Do you think we're going to see a tank Ashe?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that.
But there's a chance. There's definitely a chance is all I'm saying.
If there's a chance, sure, but are we gonna see it? Oh man, I would be, if I was betting. No, I don't think I'd ever bet on that.
If you're a betting man, you'd say, it's just gonna be a normal Ashe build.
If I was a betting man, I'd go with a normal Ashe. You can't really build the frozen fist. You can't really do that on Ashe.
You used to have the frozen mallet, but as you're talking about that huge ulting coming in from Ravethorn, but Coltimus going to pick up that kill on I Love Life. He has his flash, able to flash there. Great flash taunt coming out from Jarrett, but he's going to force the flash and cleanse away from your Eternity. Your Eternity is going to be able to turn it back, but that W from Shen is going to be able to block it relatively simply. So Jarrett going to be able to trade the flash for a flash cleanse. And he almost picked up that kill still anyways. And he is getting a farm lead. The wave's in a good spot for him. Wise Gopher going to hit Savathany with the stun. But Savathany is going to be able to just, flash away and Q away, and he's going to be perfectly fine. While we're seeing this happening, 2 dudes are going to be picking up that dragon for the side of Team Big Vibrating Chungus, which is really good for them because they're already down 2 kills and 2k gold. So if they can get this back, I think that is really good for them. What do you think is going to continue to happen right now if they can pick up this dragon like it's looking like they're going to?
If they can, Senna might actually make them pay here just off to the side. Lee Sin's going to jump out. So yeah, I like that early game. I like that early dragon pickup. I think teams, every team in this tournament here has actually done a great job in prioritizing a lot of these dragons. We've seen a lot of good, fantastic dragon fights, and we've seen a lot of early dragons, and we see another one today. So yeah, just fantastic by from every team, and right now by Team Big Vibrating Chungus for capitalizing on that early drag for themselves. And yeah, definitely that'll be something that kind of helps them get back in this game. Because as we've seen from the last game, is that it's never really over. It's, as a good old saying goes, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, or bearded lady. One of the two. Which one
One
is
of the
it?
two. I don't know either. Well, I'm not 100% sure either. I know the saying you're talking about, but I don't fully know.
I think it's the bearded lady. I think it's
We'll
I
go
think
we'll
it's
go
that.
with bearded lady because I have a beard, so we'll call it that anyway. And I know I'm not a lady, but beard and beard goes together, so we're just gonna go with that. And I kept saying that last game. It's looking like they're poised to win, but there's a chance that needs their draw can come back. And what did they do? They pulled off the greatest comeback I have ever seen live.
Yeah,
So
so
it's never over till that
so
Nexus is destroyed.
maybe Team Big Vibrating Chungus can also pull off a bit of a comeback. I say a comeback, but you know what? They're not really behind right now. Um, game's still young, game's still early. 9 minutes in here, only 2 kills down.
Safin might
Make
be
that
going down though.
probably 3 though. Safdie taken awfully low. A good condemn is going to stop Ultimus just for now, and it looks like Safdie might go down. A gank from behind though. The Galio coming in.
Rave
Dorn
Dorn.
actually blowing up Wisego for there. Ash Arrow gonna miss wide right now, but Ultimus gonna drop to I Love Life here.
Oh,
And there's another fight up in the top side. 2 dude and MKP going at each other's throat right now. It's looking like the Lee Sin is gonna have to flash away. A Warthog, but the Smite is gonna end up securing the kill in the end. Fights breaking out all around. Look at that.
he almost made it out, did too, dude, but he did not quite get there. He did absolutely everything he could, though. But we're going to see Your Eternity be getting picked out as well. MKP doesn't
No
have that
arrow.
ult down, and Your Eternity also doesn't have the arrow either. But MKP is going to be able to pick that up. 3-0-0 now on this Hecarim. That Hecarim pick is incredibly strong. They're up 1,500 gold. 2 dudes, 0-2. MKP is 3-0-0. It's looking like this is going really well for needlessly large rods. Like I was saying about the end of last game, they might be able to take the momentum they had and take it into this game, and that seems to be exactly what they're doing.
They are. It does look like they have some momentum, but they don't have the dragons just yet. Big Vibrating Chungus actually have that dragon right now, but MKP might have Rave Dorn's life. The E coming in, doing so much damage. The flash by Rave Dorn saving him. Dodging Tibbers. Fantastically played right there.
What a great flash coming out from my boy Ravedorn. Oh, and huge condemn coming down from Safdie. Although he didn't have the Lux there to follow up and CC chain it. So they're just going to get some poke off, push him away, and, lose the threat of getting killed by the Alistar engage. And just continue to farm up, continue to get Vayne, working towards that late game. And see what Safdie can really do. And I Love Life can really do on this Lux. Oh, the arrow attempt coming down. Not quite going to hit, but, it was a thoughtful attempt. Trying to help his team. I respect that.
Yeah, it seems like Your Eternity's been throwing a lot of pressure down in the spot lane with his ultimates there. And if he does actually end up connecting on one of these, that's 100% a kill. But you know what might be a kill is MKP right now, again ganking bot lane. The Galio ult not going to be enough to save his life today. And there's a TP coming in. Ultimus could be going down. Safdie actually going to pick up one for himself, but trading his life just for now. Ravedorn able to get out there with his E. Fantastic, saving his life. But that's going to be a 2-1 for the side of needlessly large rods there. TP burned, but overall still fantastic. And they didn't even have to use Shen ult. So Jarrett gets to stay on the top side, gets to keep up with the farm. They obviously don't want to let Your Eternity get too far ahead in the farm department here. It might have been, good to use on Cultimus, potentially save his life, but in the end, it is what it is, and the top lane gets to remain the good old farming lane. Dragon is going to be up now, so I think we'll see a fight. What do you think here?
So before I do talk about that, the one thing is Jarrett's ult was down at the beginning of that fight. So Jarrett just got his ultimate up as they were getting ready for this dragon pickup. So That is the main reason he didn't get that ult down. They almost get the 2 picks up onto Ravedorn and 2 Dude, but they're not going to quite finish out the kills. But what they're likely going to be able to finish is this dragon. Pick up the second dragon of the game. First for themselves and the Infernal, which is going to be really strong considering Hecarim is already 4-0 with a full mythic item at 12.5 minutes. He already has his Sunderer. He has his Lucidity Boots. This Hecarim is so strong right now. MKP doing some major work right now, and it's looking like they're poised to pick up this second dragon. But Wise Gopher going to be forced to flash. 2 Dude might be going for another steal. We've seen him do it on the Lee Sin before. This might be another steal. However, it's looking like Needless Rogers is going to pull it out. Going to go ahead and pick that up. 2 Dude going to ward hop in, but he's not going to have any escape. He's going to be taken down. They're going to have some damage done to them over the wall, but MKP just going to be able to walk it off.
And the momentum continues here. Team Needlessly Large Rods is kind of making a name for themselves right now. Able to pick up nice flash forward onto the Shen. Your attorney getting brought quite low. 2 more attacks will kill him, but the kiting is just insane out of your attorney. Able to flash away, able to deny the kill just for now and trade back a bit of damage. Almost with a kill on topside, but Team Needlessly Large Rods right now are really using the momentum they got from the last game. And oh my, MKP, I don't know what he had before this game. I don't know what snack you told him to get, but it's been working out because this Hecarim has been a machine right now.
I think he probably got into his pre-workout. He is like, you know what? I generally go to the gym when I take this stuff, but you know what? This is my gym right now. I am taking these guys to town. And right now, 4-0-2, most farm in the game. This Hecarim is an absolute terror for the side of Big Vibrating Chungus.
Is this his gym, or is he taking them to town? Or is the gym his town? Or is the town
gym
his
is his town. The gym is his town, and he's taking them to it.
The gym is his town, and he's the mayor. Because, oh my gosh, 4-0-2. And
another one.
The Hecarim.
5-0-2 is what it's looking like.
MKP, so much damage onto this Ashe. Can anyone stop this Horsey? I don't think anyone can. Maybe the Glue Factory, but I don't think that Team Big Vibrating Chungus has one of those.
I don't think they do. If they do, then we might need to get it checked out because I'm not quite sure how legal that would be. I'm not quite too sure if it's a very legal personal business, but yeah, it might be. Who knows? MKP going to be looking to do some counter jungling, and he's going to run into 2 Dude. Might be able to pick up the kill, but the Galio ult is going to be able to save him for a little bit. Ravedorn going to be doing some damage. 2 Dude going to be going back in. MKP might be going down for the first time this game. But he's not quite good. And he is going to go down only just to the smite, I believe. Or possibly the red buff. I'm not sure if he did get the smite off in that fight. But it was the smite or the red buff to do that extra little bit of a burn to take out MKP and give him his first death of this game. He's seeing the gray screen for the first time in this game number 2. But while we're seeing that, we're also seeing Coltimus and Wise Gopher in the bottom lane. You know, getting that first turret and doing a lot of really good things. They're already almost 5,000 gold up on Team Big Vibrating Chungus. And that momentum is continuing to shift in their favor. 2 Dude, 1-4. Your Eternity, 0-2. This Ashe pickup doesn't seem to be the worst thing in the world. However, it also doesn't seem to be the best. It's not like he's feeding. However, it's not like he's doing too much to contribute right now either. But at the same time, when you're an Ashe, there's only so much you can do when you got a big horsey coming towards you at about 500 miles an hour. So, can't really fault him too much, to be fair. He is still farming okay, so it's not like he's getting too far behind. But one big difference here in the farm is in the jungle. Not only is it 1-4 versus 5-1, it is a 45 CS difference. A mythic item and phage alongside boots picked up for MKP. The mythic item and boots for 2 Dude. And likely going to be seeing another item be picked up by MKP on the Hecarim very soon when he gets his back.
Yeah, the only thing you can do when you're an Ashe top lane and you see a Hecarim running at you is really run your Ashe away. But it's not working too much. That's a fast horse. Ravedorn
Two
picking one up for
dude.
himself. Two dude with a fantastic Lee Sin play. A bit too clean, but it doesn't quite matter because that's an Annie. That's just so much damage. Oh my. And that might be the second tower of the game going, or third tower actually going down in the mid lane here for the side of Team Needlessly Large Rods. Wow. I want to say, good play, good ward hops from the side of two dude. But, you know, when you're just that far behind, it's kind of hard to climb out of that hole, especially with champions like Lee Sin, especially with all the ADCs that they have, all the squishy champions. If you do start to fall behind to a lot of tanks, to a lot of bruiser champions, it can be a bit more difficult to try to get back out of that. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, after that last game, can't count any team out anymore. It could really go either way.
Well, considering last game we saw a team that was 10k gold come back and win, I don't think the 5k gold difference is that bad right now.
Oh, two dude almost with the steal. So that's Team Needlessly Large Rods going to pick themselves up another dragon. So that's going to be two dragons. And that's going to be an Infernal and a Mountain. So the two very fantastic dragons to have. Mountain Soul is going to be available for this game. So if Team Needlessly Large Rods does in fact get that Dragon Soul, they can become a very tanky team. They have the Shen, who already provides enough shielding. They have an Alistar, and they have a Hecarim. There's three insanely beefy champions. And speaking about Hecarim, coming back in again, 5-1-3. He might get actually caught out here, taking a lot of damage. Safstini having to flash away. Galio ult, but the kick from Lee Sin is actually going to knock MKP away just for now. And it seems like they're going to have to run for the hills here because Team Needlessly Large Rods are just too strong right now. They might actually pick themselves up this Rift Herald right now, and this is going to be not looking too great for the side of Big Vibrating Chungus. Two dude landing that Q is going to look for a back line, but oh my god, that Annie over the wall is going to do so much damage. Two dude going in for the kill, but MKP is actually going to pick him up himself, and they're going to secure the Rift Herald, and now they're on the chase. Coltimus is looking for Safthany or anyone. Ravedorn's going to catch him out just for now. Safthany doing so much damage. There's no ultimate on the Annie right now. The Tibbers is up. That's going to be a Rift Herald finally getting secured over to Team Needlessly Large Rods right now, and they are looking for the second turret off in the wing here. And wow, just another fight going to the side of Team Needlessly Large Rods here. How does Team Big Vibrating Chungus get back into this game?
Play around the vein. At this point, that is all they need to do. Let the vein get strong, continue to farm up. Ravedorn can always be useful with the amount of CC that he has. So if Ravedorn on the Galio can continue to farm up and get some gold, and they really start to play around Safthany here on the vein, I think that is absolutely possible. And here's the thing. Ravedorn is basically their biggest tank right now, alongside Lee Sin.
Hold up now. Ash almost getting caught. Your attorney is able to stay alive just for now. MKP is on him though, and that's a fast and strong horse. He's now looking for Ravedorn, but the Lee Sin kick, just fantastic, is able to catch MKP and Jarrett there. Fantastically played by two dude there, able to turn the fight around just when all hope seemed lost. And they're able to find some pieces for themselves. So they might be able to actually get back in this game. A couple more kicks like that, a couple more picks like that, and they might be looking pretty good for themselves.
A great play by two dude. However, he's probably going to be kicking himself just for not picking up Jarrett there. Jarrett went so low and was so close to his second kill, but at the same time they still did get one. So 1 for 1 could be worse. And they did take out the Hecarim. So MKP going down is one of their priority targets. So it is good that they got him out of there. But one thing I'd like to mention is your eternity here on the Ashe. It's not that he's playing it mechanically bad. I just do not think that the Ashe in the top lane here was necessarily the best pick. Because I don't mind a double ADC comp, don't get me wrong. However, when your two tanks are Lee Sin and Galio, and the other team has an Alistar, a Shen, and a Hecarim, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage with that pick. So.
No, your attorney has been playing this fantastically. I love the way he's taking these trades. You know, he understands that his time to actually go and engage back in is when they blow these cooldowns. So I think it's actually major props right now in your eternity. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that maybe, you know, trying to get a second tank would have been a good option because Lee Sin can only cosplay so much, but he's actually going to pick a kill up for himself, and that's a kick into a Galio stun into another one, and maybe be taking down Cultimus. But oh my god, look at that shield there, doing so much. Cultimus is actually able to turn this back around for himself. Now Safdany goes in maybe a bit too early here, doesn't get blown up. I Live Life is going to escape just for now with about a quarter of his health. And oh my, this team is looking a bit crazy, dragging up in 45 seconds. That's a TP up top lane to try to slow down your Eternity. And now I Love Life, what can he really do? Can he actually stall them from getting this turret? The answer to that is going to be no. Do they look for more? Do they look for the dragon? What's the play here?
Right now, the play for Needlessly Large Rods is just gonna, go work to pick up this dragon, put themselves onto Soul Point. Vibrating Chungus putting themselves into a hole, but like I said from last game, we've seen a hole be, climbed out of. So, not too worried is one thing I said a lot last game, and I'm going to continue to say it right now. They have the Vayne. If they can play around the Vayne, I think it's going to go well. I was expecting them to focus more on farming, but it's looking like they're trying to go aggro and pick up the kill. They almost get MKP down. Jarrett does not have the ult to go in, but Tibbers is going to absolutely melt. However, it's not going to matter. Ravedorn's still going to be pretty much full health. He's going to get some major damage down to Cultimus and to T-Man Billy, but he is going to go down. Wise Gopher's going to take him out. But your Eternity making me eat my words about the Ashe, and they're going to turn this fight around huge to make it a 3 or 2 for 4, and they're going to be likely picking up this dragon. I was expecting them to play a little bit more passive, go for the farm, get themselves some gold back into their pockets, and try to drag out this game a little bit more. But instead, they went for the aggro play. They went for the battle, even being several thousand gold down. They went for the fight, and it paid off.
Paying off. Actually able to pick up MKP right at the start of that fight, able to catch him out. So that's exactly how they want to be playing these fights. They want to be going for the picks. You have the Ashe Arrow, you have the Lee Sin kick. So fantastic job on the side of Team Big Vibrating Chungus, able to grab an early kill, and especially on MKP. He's such a big champion right now. He has so many kills, so much gold, and such a devastating ult. So fantastic for them for being able to pick up that MKP right now, who's just been a menace. And that's how they want to play these fights. We've seen it done now, and we have to see if they can kind of continue this trend of making these picks before they go for that fight. So bravo to them. Now on the side of Team Needlessly Large Rods, you want to see them not get caught out. So you got to get the ward vision down. That falls on everyone. That's everyone's responsibility to try to get some vision down. And you have to make sure you're not walking into these dangerous areas alone. So if you're MKP especially, you have a big target on your back right now. You got to be trying to avoid these fights. But as I say that, I Love Life actually getting caught out. The TP coming in. Shen dashing forward. Can Ravedorn make anything of this? That's a tanky Shen. Jarrett is so strong right now. The Ashe Arrow is going to miss for now, but the E back onto Jarrett. He's just so strong. Zonia is actually going to have to be used by Ravedorn. Flash forward by Safdany, but the taunt. Oh my word, everyone's getting traded now. Safdany actually picking up Jarrett, but oh my god! The damage is insane, and that's Baron. Whoa!
I absolutely agree that is Baron. If it's not, then that is incredibly shocking. But Jarrett, when he looked like he was just going to get taken down, it looked like Ravedorn could fight him. It just didn't work like that. He doesn't even have a whole lot of MR. It's just he is that strong. I guess being farmed up with the gold, with the experience, Jarrett being so incredibly strong right now that he was able to take that fight, no big deal. In the end, it was Safdany who took him out with that extra true damage from the Vayne passive. He's got the Vayne passive going, he's got the Kraken Slayer going, and he already has a PD as well. So Safdany on the Vayne is becoming very, very strong. So I'm looking for him to start doing some major damage in these team fights. So if I'm the side of Team Needlessly Large Rods, I want to try to get Safdany out of there as fast as physically possible. Your Eternity is also doing some work now. As we saw in the last team fight, the arrow came up huge for Mr. Your Eternity. So that was really, really good there. However, if they can get rid of Safdany, that really increases their chances of winning that team fight. We've seen already, Jarrett can 1v1 Ravedorn. We've seen that Jarrett can possibly 1v1 Safdany unless Safdany plays it well, like perfectly. So if Needlessly Large Rods can get Safdany out of there and make it a 5v4 or even a 4v4 without them, I think that there's
Oh,
a
and here's
one-team
the
fight.
test. And here's the test up top lane. Jared taking on your Eternity. The flash forward might save your Eternity. The QSS going to save him for now. Galio ult not going to connect on this time. Jared's going to take him down a bit too early. The Tibbers, again, just huge. And two, dude, is going to fall down before he can actually get away with his life there. And oh my, this is going to be looking good for them on the bot side. In the top side, however, Ravedorn's trying to battle Jared. It didn't work the first time, but here comes round 2. Ding, ding, ding. The bells are going off. Jared's trading back and forth. Ravedorn's looking for a bit of damage. Nothing's going to happen right now. They're just going to trade. In the bot side, however, Ravedorn might actually have to get back, but he opts for the fight here. Jared's going back in. The shielding is doing so much. And the Senna ult is going to give him just a bit more shielding. But look at the base. The base is going down now. The first turret and the inhibitor are going to go down now in the base. They might even look to end. They have so much. They got the Baron minions. They could be trying to push for an end right now. But the choice is to back off for now. Dragon coming up in 45 seconds. They're going to look at some other revenues. They're going to go for that mid lane. They still have the Baron minions. So let's see what happens. Are we going to see an engage here? The answer
is seemingly no right this second.
Seemingly no. I thought we might have saw an engage here, but
okay,
I might
two
be
dude
my
though.
words. Two dude engages for himself. Good amount of damage on that Lee Sin. He's
That
looking a
is
bit
really
scary.
good.
That is very
really
good.
good for two dude.
That's
a
huge.
lot
They
of
could be able
gold.
to take a wise gopher, and they actually are going to get some more
Okay.
gold here, and that's even better because
And
that's
here come the
Smite.
picks.
And here comes the pick in the pick comps. Who would have guessed it? Not me.
It's
And
a
this could definitely
5v3
be
now.
Dragon. But
It's a
hold up.
5v3 going into this dragon fight. Team and
5v3.
Billy going solo. Oh my god, that Shen ult. That Shen ult shield is insane. They're going to go in flashing forward from I Love Life, and the exhausting going down as well. Colton is coming in to help tank up though as well. And Safthany going to be forced to back away. Tibbers is going to take down Safthany. Oh my god, it's like having a fourth player there. And it's going to be a 4 for the 2 that they got earlier trade. And the Winions going in the base of Big Vibrating Chungus. This might be the end. Jerry here on the Shen TPing in. We see T-Man Billy on the Annie TPing in as well. This could be it. It's only your eternity left. They're looking for the end. I think they could get it. They have the super minions pushing in. They don't have the Baron buff anymore, but that's not going to matter. They're going to be able to take out your eternity.
Oh,
I think this is it.
The end. This is a faster game than we saw the last one. Taking it off by 15 minutes. And it seems like they just want to go for the end right away and never...
Oh, what a snipe from I Love Life. Oh, my God. T-Man Billy, wrong place, wrong time, buddy.
And it seems like both teams are just making us be wrong this whole game. Every time we say that it could be the end, it just seems like it goes on a bit more. Both teams, it's just another close game.
It is absolutely another close game. And we saw this last time. One Nexus turret for needlessly large rods for so long. Maybe it's the one Nexus turret power spike for Big Vibrating Chungus this game instead. Can they flip the script and turn the tides? It's another 10k gold difference. It's another one Nexus turret difference.
They're going to have to do it quick, though.
This is very possible.
Baron comes up in about a minute 14. So if the side of Team Needlessly Large gets that, they can actually look to end out the game with relative ease here. There's just one Nexus turret left, and that's all that stands between them and the victory. MKP is still so strong. That Shen shield is so massive. If they're able to pick up this Baron, they can 100% push for the end. So Team Big Vibrating Chungus is going to have to do everything in their power to try to stop that Baron from going down. Coming up in about 40 seconds here, I think we're going to see a fight. What do you think? Who wins this and how?
Statistically right now, I would say that, Needlessly Large Rods is gonna win it.
Oh,
but with how last game went, I'm thinking that, Needlessly Large Rods should win it, but Big Vibrating Chungus can win it with how the last game went. So, I'm looking for another comeback, but Coltimus is going to mitigate that right away and say, comeback, no comeback. We did it to you guys, but this game we are going to dominate you guys and take the win from your fresh, alive hands because they are fighting back our big Vibrating Chungus, but it's looking like it just might not be possible for them to take this win. We're going to see Needlessly Large Rods pick up this Baron, and with the double inhib, or not double inhib, I'm insane, sorry about that, but with the inhib down and the super minions coming in and the Baron buff, it's looking like this is the beginning of the end. And I said this last game, but I have a good feeling about this time being correct.
It looks like we can actually do. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. It will actually look like we're gonna see one more fight. So it seems like this could be the end of the game. Baron empowerment is currently on. 32 minutes. We've got 3 dragons on the side of Needlessly Large Rods and 2 dragons on the side of Big Vibrating Chungus. Anything can happen. All the damage is there. Everything is insane, and damage is also insane. Oh my word, 5v4 now. Can the team of Big Vibrating Chungus do anything right now to try to stop the bleeding, to try to stop this game from being end? And Wise Gopher is saying no, doing so much damage. Oh my word, onto Ray Dorn's about half health right now. That's going to be another inhibitor going down to the side. But Safin getting taken down so low. The Ash Arrow coming into the Cultimus. Might be able to take him down for now. But getting knocked up is 2 dude in the backline. MKP going back in with that huge ultimate. Oh my god. Everyone is going down. Your Eternity going down will follow next. And that should be game 2. Going over to Team Needlessly Large Rods.
And that is a huge 2-0 Saturday for Needlessly Large Rods. 2-0 moves them ahead of Big Vibrating Chungus in the standings. Oh my god, what a series.